We have probably all had a moment where we wondered if we were putting our gun back together correctly after a deep clean. Knowing that the gun wouldn't function properly if we put it together wrong probably meant that we also found a way to double check it was all squared away. That is what we are going to do in this video, but for your Enigma. Maybe you've added a sport belt, switched out the buckle, or are starting from scratch with an open source Enigma. Inevitably, when we start reconfiguring our Enigmas, we run the risk of assembling them incorrectly. So in this video, I want to show you some of the most common assembly mistakes we see and how you can fix them. Let's start with the Express. The most common mistakes we see with the Express is the sport belt or the reduced size buckle routed through the faceplate incorrectly. It's important to get these right because routing them through the wrong way changes the way pressure is applied to the holster, and it can actually reduce the amount of concealment benefits you're able to get from the system. This belt routing is incorrect. Instead of routing the belt through the front of the faceplate first, it was routed through the backside first. If the edge of your faceplate is exposed, then you have routed the belt through incorrectly, which will likely result in less pressure being applied to your faceplate and holster. To fix that, all you need to do is take the belt off of the faceplate and reroute it.
Thread through the outer slot first, and then go around the back and up through the inner slot. Now from the back, thread your webbing back up through the inner slot and out the front of the faceplate. Make sure everything's laying flat as you go along. Now take the free end of your webbing and thread it through the tri-glide. When you're checking your work, make sure that your webbing is coming up over the top of the faceplate so that it traps the end of the faceplate.
This same issue can be true for buckle routing. Again, you don't want the edge of your faceplate to be exposed. To fix it, all you need to do is take the buckle off and reroute it.
Now we just take our screw, we'll pass this through here, put our screw post in through the bottom, and tighten down our screw on the top. And now we're good to go.
Now let's talk about the open source Enigmas. Since the open source Enigmas ship completely disassembled and without a holster, we see a wider variety of assembly mistakes. First, we sometimes see the faceplate getting flipped around backwards. The wing should directly interact with the portion of the faceplate that is furthest away from the cutouts. These cutouts provide slightly more bend to the faceplate material in order to reduce counter pressure on the wing. If the faceplate is put backwards, then you won't be able to get adequate grip tuck, and it will likely eventually damage your faceplate. So to fix this, you will have to remove both the belt attachments and the holster before you can flip the faceplate back around. For this fix, you will want to review the full assembly video for your open source Enigma. Since the screws come pre-Loctited, it can be pretty tough to get your belt attachments tightened down completely. However, it is still important to tighten them down to the point that the belt attachment can no longer spin. A spinning belt attachment will likely lead to your screw backing out and potentially coming off all on its own. If you need tips and tricks for getting your screws to tighten down all the way, you can watch the assembly video. Finally, it's important to make sure you're using all the correct hardware in the correct order. Although you may be able to get the Enigma to technically function without certain pieces or out of place pieces, using incorrect hardware or lacking hardware will ultimately result in premature wear on the holster or faceplate or irreparable damage that is specifically not covered under warranty. The best way to ensure that your hardware is being used properly is to carefully watch the assembly video for your Enigma. Here are some of the most common hardware mistakes we see. There are two different types of screws that come with your open source Enigma: flat head and rounded head. It's not uncommon for users to accidentally swap these. The flathead screws attach your holster to the Enigma, and the rounded head attach your belt to the faceplate. We also see users place their screws in the correct spots, but forget to stack the necessary hardware alongside them. It's not uncommon to see belt attachments without spacers between the faceplate and the belt attachment, and or without the metal washer between the screw and the belt attachment. Without the proper hardware stacked in the proper order, the faceplate will ultimately become irreparably damaged. Hopefully this video helped you sort through some potential assembly issues and got you started down the right path towards fixing them. If you need help finding more resources on the Enigma assembly, feel free to reference the links we have down in the description below or go to PHLsterHolsters.com/instructions.